Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Diplomatic Enclave. I'm your host Omar Khalid. But as this is the norm, we try to interview ambassadors and heads of organizations to understand more their perspective of how they are working, not only for bettering of relations between the two countries, but also to highlight the work that the organization is doing in Pakistan. Today is no exception. We've been joined by the ambassador who belongs to a country that is amongst our most friendliest countries in the region. This country has been on Pakistan's side in the good and the bad times. And now with a lot of developments that have happened recently and a lot of developments that are going to happen in the coming days as well, we thought it was pertinent that we get hold of him again to understand their country's perspective as far as bilateral relations and the latest happenings are concerned. We've been joined, ladies and gentlemen, by none other than the ambassador of the Russian Federation to Pakistan, His Excellency Albert P. Khorev, who's right here with us. Thank you very much, Excellency, to have joined us.
Thank you.
Excellency, a lot has happened since the last time we met and we discussed Pakistan-Russia relations. You've had a very busy schedule and we tried to be part of that schedule, but unfortunately things couldn't materialize. The visit of your Deputy Prime Minister and now the SCO, heads of government meeting that is about to happen in the next couple of days. Let's begin with the Deputy Prime Minister's visit to Pakistan that happened on the 18th and the 19th of September. Excellency Alexei Overchuk paid a two-day visit to Islamabad. He had meetings with our Prime Minister, with our President Asif Ali Zardari, with the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister and the Chief of the Army Staff. There was also a high-level delegation that consisted of many ministers and important heads of organizations. There were many MOUs that were signed in trade, connectivity and other areas of mutual cooperation between both the countries. How successful, Excellency, was this visit? What were the key takeaways from the Russian side as far as the visit of the Deputy Prime Minister is concerned?
The visit of our Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Overchuk to Pakistan is a very important milestone in our bilateral relations. Moscow has reaffirmed its commitment to taking our relations to the next level by expanding trade and economic ties, developing the region's common transport infrastructure, and expanding educational exchanges. You rightfully mentioned that Deputy Prime Minister has brought a very strong team with him, consisting of deputy ministers, secretaries of such Russian ministers as industry and trade, economics, agriculture, transport, higher education and education. We held a range of inter-branch consultations with our Pakistani partners and achieved significant results. On the sidelines of this visit, we, in addition to the MOU mentioned by you, we signed very important document, agreement between mercantile exchange of St. Petersburg and Karachi. And we strongly believe it was a very important step ahead in terms of our economic agenda, bilateral economic agenda. Following this visit, Pakistani side sent very numerous and influential delegation of its businessmen. It was up to 90 people in this delegation, which held first ever Russian-Pakistani business forum in Moscow, early October. That is a practical result of Mr. Overchuk's visit to Pakistan. And your Minister of Communication, Mr. Alim Khan, headed this delegation. At the same time, almost at the same time, we accepted another delegation from Pakistan headed by your Minister of Petroleum, Musaddiq Malik, who participated in Russian Energy Week, which we holding annually on an annual basis in Moscow. We already enjoy bonds of friendship and a very warm political dialogue. The time has come for us to realize the enormous potential for interaction between our two great nations. And another example of practical cooperation we achieved is a first ever for the new history of our relationship agreement on barter trade between two companies from Russian side and Pakistani side. Another event we witnessed during the visit of Mr. Averchuk was the signing ceremony of Pakistan joining the multi-modal transport corridor, starting from Belarus, going through Russia, Central Asian Republic, Afghanistan and Pakistan, which is also very important from the prospect of developing regional transport connectivity. We still have ahead of us until the end of this year another very important event, which is Intergovernmental Commission on Trade, Economics, Scientific and Educational Affairs, which is planned to be held early December in Moscow. And I have no doubt that it will be another successful story of our bilateral relationship.
Definitely, and I think the visit of Excellency Overchuk was a step that further consolidated the friendship, the cooperation that already exists between our two countries. And I think all the meetings that, as you have said, have followed suit, have been those steps forward in the right direction, whose foundation was also not only led by all the different mechanisms of joint collaboration between the two countries, but also the visit of Excellency Overchuk. And I really hope and I wish that more and more such visits happen, because they only strengthen our bilateral relations. Now, speaking of bilateral relations and going a little bit beyond this, I'd like to understand a lot about the different international organizations that the Russian Federation is part of, beginning with BRICS. Now, in 2024, Russia has had the presidency of this very important organization, that is BRICS, which is an informal association consisting of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. And together with the 5 new members, most often it focuses on further expansion of BRICS, and there is looking at mechanism for uplifting the global South. This is one of the main agendas of BRICS. Now, African members, Africa or the African continent having more African members is also something that the BRICS as a foundation is looking towards under your chairmanship. Now, looking at the year 2024, BRICS and Russia, what are you planning for the rest of 2024? We've got just a few weeks left till the year ends. And also from BRICS to BRICS Plus, how does this also part of BRICS, that is BRICS Plus, offer a better option for developing nations, including maybe Pakistan, but also African nations in terms of economic development and trade?
Over the course of its BRICS presidency, Russia has made efforts to promote cooperation within the association framework in 3 key areas. There are political and security, economic and financial, and cultural and humanitarian contexts. All these 3 areas are of equal importance, and it was planned from the very start of Russian presidency to arrange 250 different events under its presidency within BRICS. So most of them, I think, has already been implemented. And the total general slogan, motto of Russian presidency sounds like strengthening multilateralism for the sake of fair global development and security. And our main priorities within BRICS are ensuring energy and food security, strengthen the role of the BRICS in the international monetary and financial system, develop interbank cooperation and expand the use of national currencies in mutual trade. In addition, Russia has placed special emphasis on strengthening foreign policy coordination among member states, jointly seeking effective responses to challenges and threats to international and regional security and stability. At the same time, the doubling of the BRICS membership provides not only great opportunities to further strengthen the role and authority of our association in the international arena, but also opportunities to develop a consistent, active, pragmatic, open and transparent dialogue and cooperation for the benefit of developing and emerging countries.
Excellency, Ethiopia, Egypt, Iran, Saudi Arabia and the UAE became full-fledged members of BRICS this very year on the 1st of January. Now, of course, it has further strengthened and it brings a lot of diversity to your organization. Now, Pakistan has also applied to be a full member of BRICS. Are you, I mean, by you I mean Moscow, going to support Pakistan's candidacy in BRICS?
Definitely. Taking into account the special friendly relations that have developed among the BRICS countries over the years, the number of those who wish to establish some form of cooperation with our association continues to grow. If I'm not mistaken, there are more than 30 countries who expressed its interest to join this association in different ways. Pakistan, one of the most prominent among them, I would say. And I would reiterate Mr. Alexei Overchuk's statement made during his visit to Islamabad that we are pleased and welcome the readiness and willingness of Pakistan to become a member of the BRICS family. And I see as a first step for Pakistan's moving towards BRICS family, membership of new development bank of the BRICS. We see very good prospects for that as a first step for Pakistan's integration into the BRICS organization.
All right. Excellency, we are also going to see a summit that is going to be held this month in Kazan, that is the capital of the Republic of Tatarstan. What is on the agenda as far as this meeting is concerned?
At the event, the BRICS countries will focus on strengthening their strategic partnership in trade, investment, innovation, technology and social spheres. The forthcoming summit in Kazan should also become a platform for intensifying multifaceted cooperation between the business communities of BRICS countries and expanding business contacts, including those between small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. We expect practical results in finding ways to ensure financial stability by strengthening corresponding banking networks to guarantee international transactions. We also hope to work with partners on such topical issues as the safety and sustainability of global transport chains, increasing transport efficiency and reducing logistics costs. In particular, we are talking about accelerating the development of the international north-south transport corridor. In addition, Russia has put forward an initiative to establish a permanent commission on transport within the BRICS, which would deal not only with the north-south project, but also more broadly with the development of logistics and interregional and global transport corridors.
Excellency, that is excellent, and I really look forward to not only BRICS expanding more, Pakistan inshallah becoming member of BRICS, but also BRICS becoming an organization that would lay the foundation for a strengthening of the region in the coming weeks and months, because as more and more members join BRICS, I think it makes it a larger organization, including many other countries from different regions. Now, coming to another organization that is also equally important for Pakistan, I'm sure it is also for Russia, and that is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, speaking on the sidelines of a summit in Astana and Kazakhstan in July this year, both Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping commended the grouping's expanding membership, which includes the Central Asian countries, including India, Iran, and member in waiting, Belarus. Mr. Putin said that the SCO was strengthening its role as one of the key pillars of a fair multipolar world order. And I think this is a very important statement, a fair multipolar world order. He also maintained that this cooperation is not aimed against anyone. And that is also a point that we need to emphasize as much as possible. And he said we are not creating any blocs or alliances, we are just acting in the interests of our peoples. How important is the clarity as far as Mr. Putin's message on the occasion is concerned while meeting Mr. Xi Jinping? And also, what are the achievements, the successes that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has achieved so far?
SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, is firmly committed to the formation of a truly just and multipolar world order, based on the observance of international law under the central coordinating role of the United Nations, ensuring equal and indivisible security, respect for sovereignty, national values, and mutual interests. Adherence to these principles ensures the steady development of this organization, and we also run in the same approach within BRICS association as well. And we also having in mind, I think that that approach is one of the reasons of the growing interest of states in joining SCO organization as well. The member states of Shanghai Cooperation Organization have traditionally attached great importance to expanding cooperation with countries that seek an open and equal dialogue with our organization and are interested in participating in its work. The SCO member states have achieved significant results in improving the efficiency of international transport corridors, stimulating intra-regional trade, promoting industrial and scientific technical cooperation, and introducing high technologies in agriculture and healthcare. At the same time, today the SCO continues to increase its role in solving regional problems, maintaining peace, security and stability in the Eurasian region. The fight against terrorism, extremism and drug trafficking, organized crime and illegal armed groups remains one of the priority areas of our cooperation within the SCO.
All right, Excellency. Pakistan is a member of the SCO. Pakistan became a member of the SCO in 2017 thanks to the efforts made by the Russian Federation. Now, Pakistan holds the rotating chairmanship of the SCO as we speak. The different meetings have been held under the ambit of the SCO, and now in the coming days we are going to have the SCO heads of government meeting. That of course will include Russia, China and many other important countries. We are looking forward to that. At the same time, what I'd like to understand is how do you see Moscow's interaction with Islamabad within the ambit of the SCO? How can, in your point of view, both countries work together to strengthen platforms such as the SCO? Also, how important has Pakistan's role been in the SCO? And I'd like to understand this from a Russian perspective. Do you feel that Pakistan can also further strengthen its cooperation with other members of the SCO in the coming days as well?
First of all, I would like to stress that Russia and Pakistan have the same or very close position on the majority of issues and directions covered by the SCO organization. That is very important. We are absolutely delighted to see our friendly nation, Pakistan, as an active member of the SCO community. Russia is engaged in a fruitful dialogue with Pakistan on ways to strengthen regional cooperation and ensure joint responses to common challenges, terrorist, drug threats. Your country has made significant contributions in trade, culture, and all sorts of other areas of Eurasian development. It is very important to take practical steps to achieve the lofty ambitions of the SCO. And in this regard, it's worth mentioning the initiative of the Pakistani side to establish a special expert-level working group on poverty alleviation. We recognize the importance of joint work to ensure social protection of the huge population of the SCO, which comprises about half of the world's population.
That is great, Excellency, and I'm glad to know that Russia values Pakistan's role within the ambit of the SCO, and of course looks forward to more Pakistani interaction in this organization as well. At the same time, if you look at Russia's role in the SCO, we see there's a lot of importance that is put by the Russian Federation as far as the partnership cooperation within the framework of the organization is concerned. There's a lot of importance that is given by your country in the strengthening of universal peace, security and stability, and shaping of an equitable and sustainable world order that is based on principles of justice as well as mutual respect. The current efforts of the Russian Federation, as I've learned and I've seen and I've been observing through different messages that have emanated from the Russian side, is to further consolidate this organization and increase the member states' cooperation to promote the organizational role in international affairs. Could you highlight more of all of this efforts that the Russian Federation is putting under the ambit of the SCO?
I totally agree with your analysis. I think it's rather difficult to add some. Nevertheless, you know that the charter of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and specifically Article 13, stipulates that SCO membership is open to other states in the region that are ready to undertake the respect the aims and principles of this charter and to abide by the provisions of other international treaties and documents adopted within the framework of the SCO. Since its inception, the SCO family has grown considerably, as you know very well. And for example, in 2017, Pakistan and India joined the group. In 2023, Iran became a member of the organization, and recently Belarus joined our ranks. At the same time, the circle of those who wish to cooperate with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization continues to expand, as we also earlier mentioned. And all applications from states and international associations to join the SCO deserve the most attentive attitude. As the President Putin rightly pointed out at the SCO summit in July this year, the interest in the work of the organization is primarily due to the fact that the fundamental values and ideals of our association, the commitment to a sovereign and independent policy, and at the same time the desire to seek collective solutions to problems together with other countries, are shared by many people in the world.
Excellency, Russia, if you look at it generally, is quite focused as far as expanding economic cooperation in transportation, in logistics, in infrastructure, in science and technology, and in innovation. Of course, we're talking of the SCO again. In this context, you've made a proposal to create the SCO's own payment and settlement mechanism, which I feel is a very important mechanism to be implemented under the current geopolitical or geostrategic situation that the world is engulfed in. Now, being interested in involving in a wide range of countries in the SCO sectorial projects, the building a partnership within the SCO Business Council, the Interbank Consortium, and the Member States Head of Regions Forum. What has been the progress so far as far as all of these proposals are concerned?
Our common goal is to achieve independence from the influence of third countries in the financial sector, first of all. For this purpose, it is proposed to create within the SCO its own system of electronic exchange of financial information and bank payments. In fact, the issue of creating such an infrastructure is being discussed at various levels. At the same time, the share of national currencies in settlements between the members of the organization is significantly increasing. Can you imagine that the share of settlement in national currencies between SCO countries has increased from 40% to 92% since 2022, so within less than 2 years.
All right, that's great progress, and we really look forward to this. The whole mechanism that you were trying to implement in the SCO, because it will make it more robust and more independent of any influence of third parties. So at the same time, you're also aiming at developing intercivilizational ties, at promoting common moral and ethical values, at increasing cooperation in the spheres of education, healthcare, ecology, culture, tourism, and youth contact. And we all know in Pakistan, the majority of our population is under the age of 30. Now, the SCO University also, I'd like to highlight that, unites 77 universities from the SCO member countries and is successfully operating. Also, forums of university presidents are held on a very regular basis, as well as education weeks are happening, which help to establish links between the students, between the teachers, between the business and the public sector. Now, if I summarize the sectors like education, healthcare, ecology, culture, tourism, and youth contacts, how important are all of these within the framework of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization?
Indeed, the humanitarian aspect of cooperation within the SCO is becoming increasingly important. While each SCO country has its own unique culture, they are united by a common respect for each other's traditions, religion, and values. That is why our educational, intercivilizational, and youth ties are so fruitful. The SCO University you mentioned is just one example of such cooperation, and it is no coincidence that it was founded on the initiative of the President of the Russian Federation. And by the way, we are still waiting in this family of 77, at least one university from your country.
Okay.
Another project that is rapidly gaining momentum is the SCO Youth Council, which coordinates various initiatives that bring together young people from the SCO countries. Earlier this year, a youth conference entitled Intercultural Dialogue of the SCO Member States was held in the Russian city of Sochi as part of the World Youth Festival. In September this year, the SCO Business Incubator was held in Skolkovo and Dubna, cities of Moscow region, with the participation of 50 delegates from 9 countries.
All right. So a lot of developments are happening as far as the SCO is concerned, and of course, you highlighted the university from Pakistan that needs to be added to that. And I hope that during your tenure, you'll make the necessary efforts with our Minister for Education to do the needful. We'll be looking forward to that announcement from the Russian side as well. Now, Russia also pays a lot of attention within the ambit of the SCO as far as ensuring security and stability is concerned, and also expanding tools for countering terrorism, extremism, and drug trafficking. We've seen that in our country, we've seen that in other countries as well. Now, the transformation of the SCO regional anti-terrorist structure into a universal center and the establishment of the anti-drug center in the city of Dushanbe, and your point of view, are also going to serve this very purpose. What are the basic objectives that will be of the anti-drug center?
Unfortunately, illicit drug trafficking continues to pose a significant threat to the SCO member states. This shouldn't be understated. Narcotics are a menace that disrupts the social fabric of any nation if kept unchecked. Russia is a strong advocate of comprehensive region-wide and global approaches to uprooting this evil. Cross-border cooperation is a must in order to tackle this trans-border challenge. A lot of damage had been done to the region by the blooming drug production in Afghanistan when it was under control of the NATO forces. And the current government of Afghanistan made a decisive effort to eliminate this practice, which should improve the situation. However, coordination between the relevant bodies of the SCO member states within the Anti-Drug Center is still necessary in order to prevent the circulation of illicit drugs.
All right, Excellency, also, any organization's role, its economy, its, as you mentioned, working against drugs, working to establish measures against terrorism and extremism, but also one very important aspect is to deepen foreign policy coordination. And I think foreign policy is something that all countries work upon, because that is how you foster better relations with other countries, whether it is in the ambit of organizations or bilateral cooperation or collaboration as well. Now, Russia has welcomed the commitment of the SCO member countries to form a just multipolar world order. We've also mentioned this a bit before in the program as well. With the United Nations role, this time this is something new, with the United Nations role as a central coordinating mechanism for a mutually beneficial partnership. How do you view the relationship between the United Nations and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? What more needs to be done?
The SCO membership reflects not only the similarity of our approaches to regional cooperation, but also the shared aspirations for a just and multipolar world order, where the countries of the global South have a strong and independent voice. And the UN retains its importance as the centerpiece of the international relations framework, and we highly appreciate its constructive dialogue with the SCO. Our new initiative for global unity, endorsed at the Council of Heads of State this year in Astana, underlines the need for all countries to refrain from confrontation and establish meaningful security dialogue while upholding the UN Charter. At the same time, it is increasingly important to uphold the values that we share and stand our ground when faced with attempts by the collective West to hijack the esteemed international institutions.
Excellency, that's interesting and important at the same time, because whatever needs to be done with a joint resolve. If you don't have that joint resolve, you cannot achieve anything. And I think the SCO, through the different mechanisms, whether it be within the ambit of the organization or with its external relations with other organizations like the United Nations, play a very significant role in this very regard. Now, when you look at the relationship with the UN, there's also other relationships that the SCO has, whether it be with the EAEU, whether it be with the CIS, whether it be with ASEAN. And as per basically the objectives of the SCO, this relationship or these relationships also play a very important role in establishing a network of partner organizations in Eurasia as well. How important does the role of all these organizations and your collaboration with them become in this very context?
The organization has partnership agreements with the UN, the CIS, the EAEU and ASEAN. At the same time, expanding the geography of partnership relations is a constant priority of the SCO's integration policy. In this regard, Russia is promoting the initiative of the Greater Eurasian Partnership, which is aimed at connecting various centers in the Eurasian space by developing joint infrastructure projects and exploring the prospects of expanding trade relations. I'm confident that the establishment of this partnership will create a broad integration circuit which implies the development of equal, multi-speed and mutually beneficial economic cooperation on the whole range of topical issues. And Russia is now working closely with all constructive international partners to support our initiative.
That is wonderful, Excellency, and we really hope that this constructive mechanism of working together under the ambit of the SCO or under the ambit of the international collaborations between different organizations becomes more robust with time, because this is what we need for a strengthening of the world, for a strengthening of regions, when organizations work together, when countries work together. Now, the role of media in all of this is extremely important. We here, for example, at PTV World, we are the only English language channel in the country, and this is what we promote. We promote Pakistan's point of view, Pakistan's narrative, and we try to highlight that to the world. And English is a language that is understood by most of the world. So this is a medium that also attracts a lot of people across the world, and it also forges that better understanding of what Pakistan stands for, of what Pakistan's policies are. Similarly, in Russia, you started your English language channel, Russia Today, in the year 2005. You followed it in 2007 with an Arabic-based channel as well. But I'll kind of relegate myself to the English language channel. How important do you feel that channels such as yours and ours, or yours, ours, and other channels within the ambit of the SCO and other organizations work together jointly, not only to promote each other's narrative, to forge a better understanding of each other, but also to develop a consensus on important regional, national, and international issues?
I would like to start with reaction to your remarks on RT. Of course, these English-speaking channels is helping, assisting in better understanding of different nations, different medias, but at the same time, I'm dreaming about one time when, for example, RT will launch its Urdu section as well, and I'm sure it will help even more understand each other in case of Russia and Pakistan nations and communities. SCO media cooperation is as important as other areas of engagement within the organization. The SCO has an important mechanism in this regard, the Media and Think Tank Forum, which is held annually in August or September. Its goal is to create a safe, fair and open information space to further promote people-to-people exchanges, to promote mutual learning among civilizations, and to help raise awareness about SCO member states. The more we know about each other, the less vulnerable we will be to Western propaganda against some of the SCO member states, especially. Our countries should establish direct channels of media communication without relying on reprints from biased Western editions, which often promote the interests of their own. For example, it would be highly beneficial for Russia and Pakistan to streamline the mechanism of direct exchange of information between our leading news agencies.
Excellency, our Defence Minister, who you met very recently as well, Khaja Asif, participated in the third ministerial meeting of the quadrilateral group of Pakistan, China, Iran and Russia. It took place on the sidelines of the 79th United Nations General Assembly session. It happened in New York on the 27th of September 2024. Meeting discussed in particular the situation in Afghanistan and efforts for the promotion of peace, security and stability in Afghanistan. All the members also showed concern over the security challenges that emanate from Afghanistan, particularly the terrorism threat, and call on the Afghan interim government to fight terrorism and eliminate all the terrorist groups and prevent Afghan territory from being used against its neighbors, the region and beyond. Of course, this was also discussed the importance of the engagement with Afghanistan and to continue close coordination between the four countries to further strengthen regional efforts to normalize the situation in Afghanistan and address the various challenges that Afghanistan has in a comprehensive manner. What has been the outcome of this third important meeting of the quadrilateral group?
Thank you. My special gratefulness for this question, because as you probably know that before coming to Pakistan, I used to work on Afghanistan and in Afghanistan. And by the way, Afghanistan is one more issue which combines now almost all the regional countries, and it is also on the agenda of the SCO organization meetings. And one of the initiatives supported by both our countries is revitalization of contact group on Afghanistan within SCO. So hopefully it will be soon decided positively. Coming back to your question, yes, you rightfully mentioned that this quadrilateral format, the third meeting of this mechanism, took place recently in New York, and it one more time showed that four key regional countries in terms of Afghan settlement are on the same page. But we consider this quadrilateral mechanism as an integral part of another regional forum called Moscow Format of Consultations of Afghanistan.
Exactly, a very important one.
And you know that most recently we also held the 6th meeting of Moscow Format in Moscow, and that combines all the regional neighbors and influential regional countries like Russia, Pakistan, Iran, China, India and Central Asian countries. And during that meeting, Russia and Pakistan, together with the other regional countries, unanimously reaffirmed their support for Afghanistan's development as an independent and peaceful state, and expressed their readiness to assist Kabul in counterterrorism and anti-drug efforts. Our countries also expressed interest in developing regional infrastructure projects with Afghanistan's participation, noting the promise of economic and trade exchanges and investment cooperation with Kabul, and the importance of international humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. We emphasized that it must not be politically motivated. And one of the most part of the final document of the Moscow meeting was that parties urged the countries who are mainly responsible for the current crisis in Afghanistan to earnestly fulfill commitments on the economic recovery and future development of Afghanistan, which means immediate unfreezing Afghanistan national assets without imposing alien for the Afghan traditions, values.
All right. It's good that you've cleared a lot of things vis-a-vis the Moscow format as well, and also the quadrilateral meeting that was recently held on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly meeting. Finally, you also highlighted that Afghanistan is also a key aspect that will be discussed in the upcoming SCO Heads of Government meeting, and also it is part of the SCO's agenda as well. What are the other avenues that we haven't discussed during this very show that could be discussed during the upcoming SCO Heads of Government meeting? Could you highlight some of those?
You know, the Council of Heads of Government is a format that mostly focuses on cooperation in trade, economy and finance issues. So we can expect important outcomes primarily in these fields. Other aspects of its work include energy, transport, food security, technology, healthcare, education and culture. It also presents great opportunities for bilateral interactions. For our Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin, this will be the first visit to Pakistan, which will help elevate the relations between our countries. He will also be accompanied by a high-profile delegation, including Mr. Averchuk, which is ready to work with our Pakistani partners on strengthening our friendly ties. We are confident that the upcoming meeting of the Council of Heads of Government of the SCO member states will be successful under the leadership of our Pakistani partners and friends. As the next chair of this format, Russia will try its best to give a new impetus to multifaceted cooperation within the organization.
Looking forward to that. But before looking forward, we look forward to Russia, we look forward to this upcoming mood, and we hope that Russia's participation in this will be robust, will be extremely important, and it will propose important aspects to how the SCO could further be strengthened and how we could move forward in an atmosphere where the SCO could prove to be the game changer as far as global and regional geopolitics and geostrategy is concerned. It is an important mood. Very important countries are coming, and of course a lot of eyes across the world, even those who do not want the SCO to succeed, will be on this mood because of the very importance that the SCO has achieved in these coming years. Thank you very much, Excellency Albert B. Khorev, to have joined us, to have talked to us exclusively about Mr. Overchuk's visit, and I would have loved to have talked to him, but of course he was extremely busy during his visit, but inshallah there will be another time. And it was important for us to discuss not only Mr. Overchuk's visit and what was highlighted during this visit, what was discussed and achieved, but also this SCO and the importance of the SCO, the importance of BRICS, the importance of ASEAN, and Russia's involvement in all of these organizations, and Russia's overtures to further strengthen these organizations. I think the more we highlight it, the more people understand the importance that the Russian Federation has as far as this multipolar world order is concerned. Thank you very much again, Excellency, to have joined us, and we look forward to Mr. Overchuk and to your Prime Minister's visit here and to their participation in the Heads of Governments meeting. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.